Hey, hey
Hi,
Tina, how
how
are
are you?
you? I'm
I'm
good. How are
good.
you?
Good, good.
That's good. You're the only one that showed up on time.
I didn't want to be late.
Oh, that's all right. We can get started because yeah, I'm recording it because I know Emma and Nia were working, so they couldn't be on the live call as well. Oh, we've got one more, which is fantastic. Hello. Hey, how are you? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's good. Great to have you on the call.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll get started because the session is being recorded anyway. So those that are not on the call will get a copy of the recording. So we'll get started.
Sure.
And if you've got any questions throughout the hour, Tina and Kushalvi, just reach out and ask me straight away so I can address it. Beautiful. All right. I am going to share my screen with you. So just bear with me. Share screen. All right, so hopefully you can see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So essentially, just to give you a bit of insight in terms of why I decided to run this 14-day challenge from the 1st of June to the 14th was purely because in the group that you're in, which is the Business Talk Show group, there was a lot of people that would message me if I had events or something on my personal page that would, oh, would like to know a little bit more about what it is that you do and what entails it. And I thought instead of just saying what I do, I just thought I'll just run a 14-day challenge just to give everyone insights, but also give you some practical tips that you can implement to really boost your social media marketing. So when I say social media marketing, purely Facebook and LinkedIn, because that's my strength. That's what I do really well. I mean, I'm on other platforms. Don't get me wrong, Instagram, Twitter, and all that. But in terms of really leveraging, monetizing, and generating leads every single week, Facebook and LinkedIn is actually where I get my leads every single week. So the others, for example, Instagram, when I put a post of like the little books that I do, I'll have people that will opt in and buy, but it's not consistent. So I like to be transparent and say Facebook and LinkedIn is where the leads, really, really work and monitor. I can monetize it, whereas the others are just online presences. And I mean, there's so many other people out there that are monetizing that. But in terms of what I do, it's just Facebook and LinkedIn. So that's what I thought. Oh well, if I could give back to the community to give you guys some insights and some practical things, then I thought I'll just do that for 14 days and really push you to see whether you can implement what I'm about to show you over the next 14 days. So that's essentially the theory behind it. So I'd love for you, every single one of you, whether you're on the live call or you're listening to the recording, to actually take the time to execute what it is that I give you, because that is really going to help you with your online presence. It has worked for me time and time again, selling online programs or workshops or whatever that might be. And on a bigger scale, it's been consultancy. So I like to make that clear because I'm not looking to sort of do a lot of workshops moving forward. I'm kind of pulling back on that and I just want to drive it online. So if you are looking for an online system, then this is probably going to give you the basics to get you thinking about the big picture. So that is where the challenge came on about. So let's get straight into it. In terms of what we're going to do today. So I want to, get to know you and your business in terms of how I can support you, through this program for the 14 days. So, I want you to actually give me insights. What's working, what's not, and it is a safe place. The recording that is going out to the people that are not on this call, it is a private link. So this recording will get uploaded to my YouTube channel, but it will be private. So no one other than somebody that has registered will get to see it. So it is quite a safe place for you to talk about. Of course, you don't have to reveal prices or anything like that or intricate details, but I'd like you to be specific as to what it is that you want to achieve. So onboarding you and your business, your biggest social media marketing challenge right here, right now, that if you could fix that in the next sort of 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, because not you can't really do a 360 and go, okay, today I've learned something, I'm going to execute that, and in 24 hours you're going to see a massive response and you're going to get all these leads. It doesn't work that way, because social media is about building a following, and you have to be social first before you can actually have that conversion happen. So it is a bit of a long-term attack plan, but I want to be supporting you for the 14 days and help you get that going. So, what is your biggest challenge? I want to hear it. What is your ideal outcome? And the ideal outcome is purely based on what it is that you want in your business as something that you've achieved that you can measure. Because it's great to say, oh, I just want to build my following. But that's not really an outcome, because that you can't actually gauge in terms of income, in terms of leads, all that. So I want you, as we're going through this call, for you to actually think about what is the ideal outcome in using social media. So it might be, yes, you want to gain more following, but how are those followings, how are those people following you going to gain from you being the expert, or you being, the prize at the end of the day in terms of what you offer? So really thinking more of adding value and how that's going to monetize in your business. So I want you to think about that. And then, let's look at how you're positioning your content. So one of the biggest things I often tell business, especially in the last probably, I would say about 12 months, that I've been talking about it for a very long time, and saying, video is the way to go, video is the way to go. And people are like, oh, I'm not so comfortable, I'm not really sure. But the truth is, if you're not on video, you're missing out on. And when I say you being on video, it is not actually your face having to be on video. It could be snippets of behind the scenes. It could be you actually doing voiceover. So you could do a presentation like this, record this, and then actually have your voice over it. But if you are not using video at least once a week on your Facebook business page, you're really letting things fall behind. You don't have to do live. I know a lot of people are a bit, I don't know about live videos, and that's okay. I would strongly encourage you to actually pre-record, look at the start and the finish, put some subtitles if you can, using iMovie on your phone if you've got a smartphone, and really putting it out there strategically. So not just talking about a bit of a rant on about something, but being strategic about content. So in this particular slide that you've currently got on your screen, I've said, why create content? And it is your opportunity to actually showcase what it is that you do, to the end user. And you've got to be specific. So I'm not saying to you, I think that's where there's a lot of perception. People think when they create content, they need to be hard selling. And the worst thing you can do to your business is hard selling on Facebook and LinkedIn in terms of video. So what I encourage both of you on the live call to think about, and those of you that are going to be listening to this later, is look at how you can actually position content from a place of education, but just not saying, oh, do this and do this. Make it storytelling. So you need to look at a series. So let's take, for example, Tina, I know what it is that you do, but just for the sake of the group, did you want to tell us what it is that you do in about a minute? And, why are you different? I know, because I come to you and I know the transformations you can do, but why do you think you are different? And why do you think people choose you over somebody else? I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that, just for the sake of the group, and so we can unpack this step by step.
Thanks, Sam. So my business, I help women to transform their lives and to feel confident in their skins, and ultimately lead them to living their ultimate life purpose. And I use health and fitness to bring about that confidence. Most of my clients come to me for weight loss, majority of them at least. And I think that I'm different, and then people come to me because I have the lived experience. Like, I've been through the journey myself over many years, having dieted and whatnot. And have found, I guess, a balanced approach to improving health and fitness in your life, which has in turn given me confidence to go and achieve my ultimate life goal or purpose or, dreams or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I can empathize and really understand their own personal journeys. So being a mum myself, I understand how it is to be busy and how to fit it in. And I try to deliver the information and content, I guess, so that it really resonates with them, so that they feel that I understand their journey and I understand their difficulties in getting to training and juggling the kids and families and things like that.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So your point of difference would be essentially then, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is you have been there, you know the challenges as a parent, but you also know the challenges as a woman. So you connect on two levels, emotionally and mentally, from two different walks of life, essentially, because you've been there prior to kids, and then now you're empowering and helping people transform, but the juggle, the hustle that's real when you're juggling a young family, because there's so much more going on and so many more challenges that come up in a household environment when you're parenting and trying to run a business. Okay, cool. Perfect. So let's go. Kushalvi, am I pronouncing your name right? I hope I am. But I'd love to hear from you. If you want to unmute yourself, because currently you're on mute. If you want to unmute yourself and just tell us, what it is that you do. And hopefully I said your name right.
My name is Kushdil.
Kushdil, okay.
Two different words,
Okay.
So the name Kush means happy and Dil means heart, happy heart.
Oh, happy heart. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Oh, there you go. I learned something.
And my name is represent my journey and my business as well. I'm doing Om Yoga and Ayurveda. So yoga for mind and Ayurveda for body. And I'm working with different kind of people, like kids and youngsters and old age as well. And the basic is like, I would like to work with those people who are who wants a healthy life. Basically everyone likes it. So I just do combination with the healthy lifestyle, yoga practice and diet.
Yoga practice and diet. Okay. So are you different, just so I get an understanding, and for everyone that might be listening to this later on, when I upload it. So when you say yoga, like I get yoga, and when you say diet, is that sort of like, would your competition be a dietitian that somebody would go and see? No. Okay.
No.
So it's a completely different fit in terms of how you approach the diet.
Yes. Diet means individual person has different needs. Which Ayurveda suggests. It's according to your body type.
Oh, okay.
So everyone is different. So everyone needs a different. Everyone has a different body type. So accordingly, the constitution, they need to follow the diet.
Oh, perfect. So you're using the Ayurvedic method to determine where they fit into that, like almost like profiling them. And then you take them on a journey using that diet that fits into that profile and yoga. Okay. Just out of curiosity, because I've not been, I don't know a lot about that industry in terms of exactly your point of difference. Do you have any direct competition currently?
A lot.
You have a lot of direct competition. So who would you say that is just, I mean, you don't need to mention a name, but in terms of their, your direct competition, do they have a big social media following, and how are they positioned?
I think they are keep doing marketing. I can say blogging and things on social media.
Okay. All right. The reason I asked that is, for those of you on the call, is it's so easy to go, we don't have competition because we have a point of difference. And you're absolutely correct. You have a unique selling proposition, and the way you interact, the way you connect, the way you build your engagement, the way you service, the way you nurture people are, of course, very different. But when you are trying to stand out in the marketplace, unfortunately, you kind of, you are caught up in that busy, congested social media space where you're all kind of going, everybody step away, everybody step away. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And that's essentially what you're trying to do. So my approach to a lot of my clients, you know, whether they are selling pergolas and patios or whether they are a plumbing business, you know, where, you know, sometimes I don't know the industry and I tell them up front, you know, I go, I know the strategy, I might not know the industry, but my biggest learning on social media, probably about, I think it was about 2.5 years ago, that really changed the dynamics away. The way I kind of started feeding information was, instead of highlighting what they already knew, I started highlighting the benefits that I can bring to the table where I have their interest at heart. And that is sort of the game changer. So how can I be transparent to them so they connect with me on a personal level? Because it is so easy to go, well, I'm not the brand, or I am the brand. And, you know, I'm a small business just like each of you on the call. You know, I mean, I have a business name. I've got 2 businesses, a publishing business and a social media and marketing consulting business. I've got 2 businesses, but that doesn't mean to say that I dominate the industry. And I want to be transparent about that, because there are so many people that I would actually send certain businesses to go and work with because I'm not an ideal fit, and I'm okay with that. So you kind of need to know exactly your path, who your ideal client is, but then looking at how your value proposition interlinks with their values and their alignment. And it's okay if it doesn't, because sometimes you think they're an ideal client, but then you have a conversation for maybe 5-10 minutes and you go, you know what, they're not. And there is no point you headbutting and coming up against that resistance, because they're not an ideal fit. And it's being okay with that. And this is where I say, why create content? Why be on video? Why do social media? This is where the game changer happens, because if you know your place of serving and how you're different, you need to storytell through content creation. And that is where a lot of people struggle, because they go, but Samantha, I'm a private person. But Samantha, I don't like to do this. But Samantha, this. And I'm going, at the end of the day, when I choose a service that is somewhat personal, or whether that's a business service, so like business coaching, because, you know, I've got 2 amazing business coaches. I have worked with a life coach. I have done all sorts of different personal development, business, workshops, all these things. Yes, I might hear the amazing results that people have had, no doubt. I might have seen reviews, I might have seen testimonials, great. But when it comes to paying them, I pay them because I feel connected. I feel like I can have a conversation. There is a relatability factor in the buying power. And this is where your content creation needs to have that vulnerability, transparency, and relatable for them to go, she's just like me. Oh, I get her. I kind of want to be on the journey that she has already traveled. You know, it's a bit like when you get in the car and you say, I'm going from here to, let's say, your local shopping center. You know the road, but imagine if there was 2 or 3 dirt roads and you just didn't know where you were going. You'd be like, oh, I know one of these get there. The road's not paved. It's rutty. You know, I don't know where I'm going to end up. It's a big risk factor, even though you know the shopping center is only 3 kilometers away. And one of those roads are going to take you. So you know you're not actually going to not get there. You know you're going to get there eventually, but you don't know. So if somebody said to you, yeah, but listen, if you go on the middle road, it's a little bit bumpy, this little part, but after it's paved and it's beautiful, there's some beautiful trees, and then it's a smooth sail right till you get to the front of the shopping center, you're going to be like, oh yeah, beautiful. Well, I'm going to take that road because I know it's smoother as opposed to the road on the left and the right. So essentially your content creation is almost like that. How can you be vulnerable, transparent, and give them a level of certainty on the journey that you can take them? And this is where the power of video comes into play, because people get to connect with you. Does that make sense? So this is where I say, even if you don't want to have your face on camera like this and you're going, Oh, I'm not going to do that. That's okay. How about you look at putting together some photos and just talking over it so people connect with your voice? Because that's absolutely crucial in terms of connecting and relating to you and seeing whether you are an ideal fit for them to transact and take them on that journey. Okay. So then the next thing I say is, once you have identified the content creation part, okay, you're going to use video, you're going to storytell, you're going to do this, and I'm going to break that down as we progress. Then your next step is to work out what platform this content goes on, how it's going to go on there, but most importantly, the social media platform that your ideal client is on. Now, the reason I say that is because, Facebook, without a doubt, is the place to be. It is. There's no question in my mind. You talk to any social media marketing person, they're going to tell you the same thing. So I'm not telling you anything different. However, depending on who your target audience is, you need to know where they are engaging, where are they hanging out, what are they doing, what their life is like. And again, this is what any marketer would tell you. Who is your ideal client? What's their lifestyle? Can you profile them? It is so easy for every single business owner to go, well, we're all on Facebook, so I'm going to put all my content on Facebook. Yes. However, is there a small percentage that might be on LinkedIn? Could they be on Twitter? Could they be on Instagram? Could they be on Snapchat? Could they be here? Could they be there? Wherever they are. So you need to kind of take one step back and go, let's look at the last few clients I've had. Let's start to profile them. Let's start to categorize them. So you might go, example, okay, age group 35 to 45, they're on Facebook, they are married or they are single, whatever that might be, they have kids, they don't have kids. You start profiling them and putting them into little categories. So you'll have category A, category B, category C, category D. Then you look at which platform are they hanging out the most and consuming. So when I say consuming, is not just browsing. Because if you're sitting on the couch, like I could sit there and I could get my phone right now and I could be just scrolling. Yeah, I could do that. But I'm not fully engaged because currently I'm running a Zoom call. So it is easy to say, yeah, she's always on Facebook and browsing. Great. But am I actually engaging and consuming information? Now, the consuming part happens when somebody might tag someone or comment or like. Because let's say I'm scrolling and I see a beautiful photo of, you might post on your profile and I might like it. Now I have consumed that piece of content. I know, okay, Kushdil is doing that. Tina is doing that, or whoever else is doing that. So I've consumed that. I've seen it. I've engaged with it. I've consumed it. I'm up to date with something that you might be doing in your personal life, in your business, whatever that might be. As opposed to me just browsing and just moving through. And then somebody might say to me, oh, did you see Tina had this amazing session the other day on a Tuesday night? I'll be like, oh, did she? I don't know. I didn't see it because I might have been on Facebook on Tuesday night, but I didn't see it. I didn't consume it. It was just a passing by thing. So when you start looking at content and you start picking your platform, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, the reason I talk just about those three is because that's where I'm heavily active and I'm posting on a weekly basis. I would suggest to you, look at how, and I'm going to give you individual tips. So I'm not just going to be across the board and say, do this, do this, do this. Your email support, which I'm going to talk about later, is going to give you a personalized, some tasks to do. But I want you to think about how you can give someone some content, whether that's a 30-second video, a post, or a blog that you might share, that they consume. So this is not about you just posting content because every social media marketing person's telling you, you need to be posting 5 times a day, you need to be posting at least 3 times a week, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. We're all going to tell you that. That is just stock standard social media marketing strategy for you. But what I'm telling you that I know works time and time again, specifically on Facebook and LinkedIn, is you need to give people a bite-sized piece of information that they consume so they remember you. A like, a share, a comment. Okay, so think about where is your ideal client? For the two of you on the call, Kushdil and Tina, I know without a doubt in my mind your audience is on Facebook. However, Tina, if you are thinking of getting into the educational space, which I'm currently aware of outside of this space, it might be worthwhile for you to consider building a bit of a profile around LinkedIn. I mean, I don't know whether I can't remember whether you and I are connected on LinkedIn or not, but it might be something for you to consider positioning yourself as an expert in that field, given that now you've got some things moving into the educational space, because the educational space decision makers are going to be able to suss you out on LinkedIn a lot better than on a Facebook page.
Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that might be one of your things for you to really, really consider. And I'll just take note of that so I can remind you on your task list. Now, Kushdil, with what you do, I haven't actually taken a detailed look at your Facebook page, but what I would suggest is your approach to be more about the storytelling part of why Ayurvedic is different in the marketplace, because there could be a gap in the marketplace around educational awareness as to where that sits on the spectrum of things that is so congested, because you've got Ayurvedic, then there's something else, then there's clean eating through being vegan and paleo or something like that, then there is something else, then there's all these other things. Like, there's things popping up all the time. We are constantly being marketed and trying to be sold and suffocated with information. So my suggestion to you right here, right now would be you've got a marketplace where you need to dominate. I would pull back and go, hang on, where are these clients sitting at? What are they doing? What is their biggest sort of, challenge in terms of their current situation? How can I position content not to sound salesy, not to sound like, oh my God, you need to know, you need to buy, you need to connect with me because I'm the go-to, but rather talk about in a little bit, as I like to say, because it's not always acceptable, but anyway, I'm going to say it because I pride myself on transparency. How can you be a little bit disruptive in the marketplace to create awareness? Because when someone's a little bit disruptive in a marketing space, people go, oh, what is she on about? Like, seriously, is that the next thing? And it's okay for you to be a little bit disruptive, like it is. Because today, everybody is playing at the same level, same strategy, post, engage, content, put some videos, everything's happening. Like, let's just everybody get on video, everybody record the selfies, and you're walking to the shopping center, let's put that on there. You're doing this, let's put that on there. Yep, we're all famous. Yeah. Because I do videos in the car too. So, I get that. But what I'm trying to do through strategically doing other stuff behind the scenes is show you a way to be a little bit disruptive. So your audience is going, what is she on about? Or what is he on about? You want the person to go, oh, I didn't know that. Or is that the next best thing? Or is that where things are headed? So you want to trigger that thought back, not just go, oh, yeah, I know. Like, I know it's all about clean eating because it's gut health. I mean, I know that too, but I struggle to keep at it. That's a confession. I mean, I've been training with Tina for over 18 months. And, sometimes I'm like, oh, if only Tina saw what I'm eating right now, like, it wouldn't be okay. But when in desperate situations, we make really bad, poor decisions. And I am upfront and honest, and I'm going, I'm guilty of that. Hand up, I'm guilty. I'd probably do that once a week. I'm trying to get better, but it's bloody hard work. But where Tina stays in my head is because she needs to be then feeding information and talking about, you can make a poor choice, Samantha. You can eat that crappy meal that you chose because you were running late. But what you have done to your gut health is this. Or with you, Kushdil, it might be you could go on doing what you're doing, but have you thought about, if you're basing it based on chemicals and, the other things, whereas Ayurvedic is very pure and healthy, then are you aware of all these things that you're consuming? And, often a lot of people are concerned about this, but what are they doing about it? And I have found, boom, boom, boom. So you need to give them then why you are so passionate about Ayurveda. You're not telling them to switch. In your means, are you suggesting to somebody to switch to buy your services, to do anything? None of that. You are just being disruptive in the conversation about as I said, the bullshit that is going on in your industry. Because then people go, oh, because Tina and you might not be telling me to change this or change that. You're just stating plain facts that I'm failing to see. That then the thought, the thought is planted in my mind, going, oh, yeah, I should just, yeah, I get it. Like it's clicked. As opposed to saying, Samantha, don't do that. Because let's face it, most of us on this challenge are in the parenting space at one time or the other in that cycle. We tell our kids, don't do that, it's not good for you. And that's the very thing they want to do. And I mean, I don't know about each and every one of you on this call, but sometimes when I'm told not to do something, like I kind of want to do it just to test the boundaries, see how far I can.
Most of the people, I think.
Exactly. So as humans, we love to do that. But you are not about to do that on social media. You're about to be disruptive, to plant a thought that these are the facts, and I don't get why society is still talking about this kind of thing. So your approach needs to be disruptive to stand out. And I'm telling you this because this disruptive trend in breaking into the social media market is currently working really well. Now, in 12 months, you probably will have to forget being disruptive, and there'll be another new strategy. But for right here, right now, to get your business momentum, to get your business standing out, to get your business really dominating one of these platforms on social media, your strategy needs to be disruptive. Okay, that is your kind of core focus at the moment over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, and then kind of reassess, because Facebook and LinkedIn are changing. I mean, with Facebook, what was happening in January is no longer happening now. Things have changed again. So you kind of have to go with, okay, we're trending on disruptive content and really building a presence. We're going to run with that for 2 months, and then we're going to reassess. Okay, now they're looking at this, we're going to run with that. So you need to be ready to kind of, as I say, juggle and hustle the whole time that you're on social media, because social media is social first, and then it's a form of media. So how are you being social and a little bit disruptive? Because if you were at a family dinner party, or you were in a workplace in a boardroom, or you were at a workplace in a kitchen having a conversation, making a cuppa, and somebody said something, you'll have a comeback line. That's just how we are. We will have a comeback line. We will have like, oh, how dare they talk to me like that? You would get a bit offensive and a bit you get offended and get a bit defensive. But why isn't that sort of trending on social media? Because people think they want to paint a pretty picture. Oh, I'm just going to give them facts. I'm going to add value and serve them. That strategy worked 6 months ago. It did. It really did. Because I was using that strategy too, and it was working. It was generating me leads, and now it's like, yeah, next. And this next phase is disruption. And that is why I decided to run this 14-day challenge, because I thought if each of you can be a little bit disruptive and be okay with that, because you've got to be okay with that. If you're not aligned with being a little bit disruptive and ruffling a few feathers, then, you've got to find that place within you, because I can only tell you, but you've got to find a place. But being a bit disruptive on social media is the new direction, and you kind of need to jump on the bandwagon. Okay, that being said, the next slide that you've currently got on here is repurposing content. Now, this is a big one, because I know, I will say I know, but then I'll also phrase it saying it is safe to assume, because I'm all about, getting the languaging right when I'm talking, and saying we are time poor. I mean, I'm time poor. I love my sleep. For quite a few years in the business, I lost a lot of sleep. And one of the reasons I moved into getting a new coach earlier on this year was I needed to get time back. Nearly 5 years on in the business, I wanted to be sleeping a lot more than I was. And I wanted to really have the business running at about 70% on autopilot, and only 30% of me doing the work. I'm probably 5% away from that goal at this minute. And that goal is probably a September goal, where it would just run completely on autopilot in that aspect. And one of the biggest things I got from hiring that coach was time management. And I thought I had time management downright packed because I'm really good at sticking to a schedule. I'm really good at planning, really, really good at managing and outsourcing things. And those were all my skill sets that I've learned, you know, from corporate job to then running a business for nearly 5 years. However, the whole of last year, I was still, you know, having 2 nights a week that I would be staying up quite late to get stuff done, or even if I was outsourcing and I had somebody offshore, and then from time to time I had a virtual helping me just casually ad hoc here in Australia, I was still doing the task of sending them stuff after hours. Like I couldn't juggle to do it between my business hours are very much about 10 or 10:30 in the morning to about 6 o'clock in the evening. Those are sort of my business hours. Sometimes it's a little bit later when I network, but essentially those are my business hours. So I was still doing stuff after 10 o'clock in the night because I had to send stuff for that to be followed through, which meant I was still working for an extra hour as opposed to going to bed at 10. Now, I know a lot of people are very creative at night, and I put my hand up. You know, I'm extremely creative at night. You try to get me to do something, or even to run one of these calls at 6 o'clock in the morning, even though I know this at the back of my head and I can just close my eyes and talk. 6 o'clock in the morning, you're just asking too much, because that's just not my thing. So what I'm suggesting to each and every one of you on the live call and that will be listening is look at your time management. You're probably safe to assume you're probably time poor, and you probably are struggling to really allocate sufficient time for marketing. Now, I'm assuming here, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'd love for you to tell me that. But I've been in that cycle of going, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, and there's no time, so let's just stay up till 2 a.m. and get shit done. That's just my thing, yeah? But then what was happening was that was not sufficient, because it was not enough. You don't have enough marketing material, even if you stay up, you know, 2 nights a week for a few months, because you need to be creating marketing content and structuring. There needs to be a structure around your marketing. And this is where a lot of businesses fail, because they go, okay, this is a special happening on the 14th of June, so we're going to promote that. It's not about the special on the 14th of June or the special at the end of the financial year. It's not about Christmas in July, for those of you that could be plugging Christmas in July. This is about going, what are you selling over the next 3 to 4 months? Seriously, what are you trying to achieve in the next 3 to 4 months? And then you kind of need to reverse engineer that. If you are trying to just achieve something in 6 weeks and you're trying to market that, it's not going to work, because you don't have enough lead-in time for you to test the marketplace and really gauge at how they're responding. For example, I've currently got a series of videos that was professionally shot. When was it? Two and a bit weeks ago. And they're about to just go through Facebook ads. So they're not actually going to appear on the surface as such. They're more going to be Facebook ads specifically for lead generation purposes. The planning was done 2 months before I acquired the videographer. When I acquired him, we went through another brainstorming session to look at the outcomes. From there, he has edited it, and we've looked at how we're going to structure that. From there were landing pages to go, okay, how would the Facebook ad look like? What are we saying? What are we doing? What's the call to action? So imagine if I try to put that all together in 4 weeks, I wouldn't have been able to run any workshops that I've run. I wouldn't be able to go on a personal holiday, which I'm doing in about 2.5 weeks. Like, I wouldn't be able to get any of that done. And worst case, I wouldn't be able to service any clients, because I'm doing all this stuff. So what I'm saying to you, and that's why I want to support you for the 2 weeks, is look at your long-term game plan. Today is the 1st of June. You have got unlimited support with me for 14 days. You are in a closed Facebook group that I'm going to keep nurturing you and supporting you well after the 14 days, because you're there. Like, let's be connected, and let's support each other and be, you know, sort of like accountability buddies on there. But let's look at the core of it. Let's look at what is it that you want to be ticking off your list come 31st of December this year. Like, seriously, what is the big tick for you to go, I did that, and I did it really well, and I made a difference, and that resulted in cash in my bank account. So you look at the 31st of December, then you look at the 30th of September. How are you tracking there? And then you go, okay, come 1 July, what is in place for that 3 months and then for that 6 months? So this is where then your repurposing of content comes into play. Now, the reason I say that is because, as I said to you before, I'm going to assume you are time poor, you have clients to service, families to support, things to do other than just sit there and write marketing copy and strategies. Okay. That being said, what I suggest you do is you allocate at a bare minimum an hour and a half every single fortnight for your marketing. Now, in the hour and a half that you're allocating, what I would encourage you to do is, again, I love the word reverse engineering. It's like my thing. I don't know whether I was some sort of, I don't know, in that field in a previous lifetime, but I love that because I think if you, for example, one of the things that I'm currently doing with a business here in Melbourne, I don't want to reveal too much because the strategy is currently in place, so I don't want to give you too much away. But what we did is they're doing a series of videos. Okay, it's educational, so it's not disruption, it's education. But they're doing a series of videos, and it's being recorded professionally. So there is a bit of a membership site educational platform happening, but they're doing this thing. Now, when we decided to do this membership site, just to give you context, so they're spending money on a WordPress website that is going to be a membership site where people are going to log in and then pick up a program, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, great. And it's attached to a workbook and some other resources and all the other things that they do. But when we sat together, their biggest thing was they have a time capacity issue. They cannot actually physically be on the phone because they've got so many clients and only 2 qualified people that can actually do the work that they do. The others are sort of floating admin technical kind of people, a bit like each of you on this phone call, that, you are the business. You are a massive risk to the business because you are the business. So how can you kind of pull back a little bit, but still do what you're doing really well? So the strategy when I went in-house to consult them for a whole day was I said, okay, so you want to do a membership site. Great. That's great that you've got the clarity. Now let's look at what you're going to do on that site in terms of content. Okay, well, we're going to do this. So we went through the actual program. We looked at all of that. Then obviously the issue came, well, Samantha, we're time poor. We know we're going to do this and then that's done. But now in terms of marketing, we're just not sure. And I said, okay, so the strategy essentially that we worked on, which I'm about to share with you now, is they're already creating content. Yeah, you've got that. You've kind of gauged that now in the last minute and a half that I've mentioned that. So how can we repurpose that content for marketing purposes, given that they're already got a person recording? So the strategy, and this was the strategy that I worked with them, was we said, let's record the videos as you are. But before you record the videos, I'd love for you to sort of summarize what, week 1 to 4 is. So just on a quick video, for example, they might say, hey guys, so the focus over the next 4 weeks is to achieve A, B, and C. And the reason we are focusing on A, B, and C is because over the last 6 to 8 months of research, we have gained that a lot of our students have experienced A, B, and C. And we decided that addressing A, B, and C right in the first part of this program is a crucial part. Okay, so that was how it was done. And then they'd go into and go, hey, welcome to week 1 of that, and week 2, all that. So that was my first suggestion. Now, once they did that, what I said to them, and this is where you probably should be really taking notes, was that information that they revealed on that video, that was, I think at the time, because they're still recording the bigger series, but the intros and all those, intricate parts were done 2 weeks ago. That video, I think, went, from memory, I think it went for about 5 minutes. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not seeing the edited footage, but I think it's about 4 or 5 minutes long. The strategy from that, when we did the scripting, because I sat with them when they did the scripting for that 5-minute video, was take that video and break down the content for Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Insta, and I think they're on Snapchat as well. Okay, when I say breakdown, you'd play back a 6-minute video. Now, let's say, for example, let's say Tina had over the last, let's say 2 weeks, Tina has taken photos of people working out in the shed, and Tina has done little selfie recordings where she's gone, hey guys, today we are doing this. One of the things that people benefit, or you can't see the phone. One of the things people benefit is when they do upper body training, it strengthens A, B, and C. She'll explain how it helps their shoulders, their lower back, all that. Great. So Tina's done one recording. 2 days later, Tina is out on a walk or on a run, in her local area, and then she does a selfie where she's talking about why, she finds running so amazing and how it helps her and whatever it is. So Tina's done all these little videos. Great. But then Tina's going, oh, what do I post? Like, you've done those videos and now you're a little bit time poor because you're not going anywhere today. You want to have something attractive to put on social media. This is where you go back to the content and start to take out little snippets in those videos for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Okay, where if Tina has recorded a 3-minute video highlighting what this is going to do, then really she should make a post about one. So she would say something along the lines of, the number one thing you should remember when working on trying to tone your biceps is that. And then you put a quirky picture or you put something funny, but you're taking it out of a video. So if you are stuck for content, you are repurposing something that you've already said on video, because if somebody didn't listen to the video and they're visual, they're going to take up the visual and consume that. So I'm not saying to you to create 20 posts, 3 videos and a series. I'm saying do one thing and then split it up onto little behind the scenes, educational resources, whatever you've got going. If it's a live stream that you do every single day, because I know some people do live stream a lot, then unpack your live stream. What were the 3 things that you said on your live stream? Make that into Instagram post for your Instagram and get your hashtags right. If you did that and you could extend it on into a blog, put that on LinkedIn. And if you've got a one-liner, like a catchy quote, that you can attach that to put that on Twitter. So you are still using the one piece of content, you're just using it and dissecting it onto different platforms. So you're able to engage with the audience that is getting pieces of content in a way that they want to consume. Yes, I know I told you have to be on video. I told you you have to be disruptive, but why can't you have a strong, bold quote that flows directly out of your video on Instagram? Probably going to take you not even 2 minutes. If you've got an iPhone, there are 2 apps. Word Swag that you can buy for $4 or $5 from the App Store, and an app called Over, OVER. You can play around with those 2 apps and create amazing little snippets by just repurposing your content. Okay. So on the screen, I have sent you videos, behind the scenes and education. Look at that. Again, bearing in mind that the theme is being a little bit disruptive. Educational resources. So for example, if you see a really good blog that somebody has written that has a massive following on Facebook, let's say for you, Tina, it might be, let's say, Michelle Bridges or Commander Steve, or one of the people might have written a really great article or something like that. You can take that and be a little bit disruptive with that, where you would share it and say, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, how many of you think you could actually do this intensive training? Like, what sort of issues do you think you'd be faced with? Because the truth is, a lot of people say they want to look amazing and they want to do this, but are you willing to do those, whatever those exercises are? Because, I'd say I want to look amazing, but then, you tell me to do something 10 times over and I'm like, oh my God, it's hard. So how can you be a little bit disruptive and a little bit confronting when you talk about the reality of what people are trying to achieve? So Kushna, with you, in your industry, there's a lot of obviously, comparisons of how what it is that you're doing is compared to something else in the marketplace, and why people need to be considering this, or why the benefits. So your approach would be very much to go, it's great that everybody's talking they should do this, because we've all heard that, but have you stopped to look at this? or if there is a really good, like if you know of a company that in the Ayurvedic space that is really sharing like research, statistics and stuff like that, you could really take that, give them a plug. If you are using somebody famous or somebody's trending, make sure you give them a plug on all the platforms that you're using that content to elaborate further, because when you do that, you've got more people following you as a result of that. So you want to be strategic. You don't want to sound like you're having a go at them. You're just pointing out the facts. Okay, you're pointing out that, you know, everybody's talking about how amazing Michelle Bridges looks like, or somebody in the Ayurvedic space, or they have such, you know, they're calm, they meditate daily, and they go to these beautiful retreats, and they eat clean. Great. So we all love that. We all want peace. We all want calm. But are you willing to take some action? Because the last time I checked, everybody's saying that, but the moment there is support out there, people are not reaching out. Do you see how you're not bagging them? You're just talking about society and being a little bit disruptive. So that's your approach. And then you start leveraging that on different social media platforms in short spaces or expanding on. So one of my clients, he's a financial planner. And when he and I started working together, he said to me, he goes, Samantha, one of the things I absolutely do not want to do is actually write interesting things about it. I just want to have the client you know, contact us and for one of our receptions, book in a time and us to do face-to-face. I actually don't want to be on social media. And I said, yeah, I get that. And then he said to me, can you write content? I said, well, I don't know your industry. The fact is, you know, I know marketing. I don't know any of your industries in detail as well as you do. I mean, I know it as a consumer. To some of you, you know, that I might be your client. So I kind of get it as an experience and a result. But the intricates, the science behind it, the teaching, the resources, only you know that because you're amazing at what you do. So how you break it down is take a resource, just break it into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces, and then just read that. Because that way, when they consume A on LinkedIn and then they see B on Facebook, it is talking about the same thing that you were disruptive about 2 days ago, that people were going, what is she on about? Does that make sense? So you're reshuffling and repurposing things to position yourself. Okay. Then on Instagram, I've said...
Sorry, I interrupt you in between.
No, that's all right, Kushnil. What was it?
Like you said, we not make any blogging and things, but whatever the other people are writing about or doing some research or whatever it is,
yep,
we should post on our page.
Yes.
And we need to ask people that what do you think about it, or what do you would like to, like something kind of thing, like a opinion poll kind of thing.
So you want to get them talking about, and one thing you should remember, just because we had this conversation, I think about 2 weeks ago, I can't remember where I had it. When you are having a conversation like that, you need to put it on your business page, and from your business page, share it to your personal, because if your personal page is sounding like there's too much marketing going on, Facebook will shut your personal profile down, because Facebook doesn't want your personal profile to be of a marketing platform. It just wants to be a conversation platform. So if you are taking a blog, let's say, let's pretend, Kushnil, you took a blog from, I don't know what the company might be called. Let's say the Naturopaths Association of Australia. Let's just call it that. And you take a beautiful article that talks about the highlights that over the years of Ayurvedic, how so many people have been impacted and the transformation has happened. Let's say you say this article and you're like, oh, that's a great thing. And look at the testimonials, look at the transformation. You'd copy and paste that on LinkedIn, and so that way people can see where you got your facts from. But your status update or the intro to that would be great outcomes over the years for patients that have, for people that wanted to explore Ayurvedic and now are enjoying the benefits. Yet still so many people are questioning it, given that they have not done sufficient research. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. Do your research, consider an alternative. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So you're not saying, oh, you're an idiot. You're just saying it's interesting. People are talking about things, but they've not done their research. But these people that have had the transformation have actually done their research and invested in them. So you're indirectly saying how you have done your own research in your field of expertise, and that's why you're passionate about it. Does that make sense? Like, you would not share something about politics on any of your platforms, but you share stuff like that related to your expertise. Like, I'm always sharing Kerwin Ray's content on mine, because one, I mean, you know, he engages on it and he plugs it and he likes it, and there's community management happening. But two, I want people to see that I'm not just talking about just my stuff, that I'm actually posting other people's valuable content. Another person I follow in the business world is Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's awesome at what he does. Now, he's a lot louder and a lot more disruptive in what he says, and that has a massive following because people love the raw, real stuff as opposed to stuff that has a filter. Because back then the filtered stuff worked. You know, last year, if you were on a Zoom call with me, I would have said to you, give them, you know, educate them, make them feel nurtured, to support them, because that's what they want. Now, if you're not being disruptive and you're being loud, you're missing out on. So it's kind of working out where things are trending on social media. Okay, Tina, with what you're doing, I would really look at the educational space versus the women that trained. So you kind of want to go the two parts, given that now you're steering into another journey, and be conscious that the audiences are a little bit different in terms of how and what they are looking for, because the educational audience is discovering the transformation that you are about to bring into their life. And they're not sure because they're new to it. Whereas the people that are coming to you have already found you, connected with you, like and trust you. So the relationship's different, and you want to be conscious about that when you're positioning content on there. Okay?
Okay.
Beautiful. All right. So moving on. Now I'm going to spend some time to really get to know your business before we wrap up in the next sort of 10, 15 minutes. I want to know, you know, you told me about your business. You've told me about, you know, what is it that you do. But in terms of really supporting you over the next 14 days, because a part of this program is you're on a Facebook group. So if you've got any questions specifically for me, or you want to know something, or you would love some guidance with a template or something, you need to be really active in that group, because that's where I'm going to be really supporting you. I will support you on personal chat, like through a message that could be private. That's, of course, that's fine. But I really want you to be interacting there, because that one, you get to connect with the other women on there too, but you also are able to share your challenges with somebody else that might be going through the same thing. And instead of me repeating myself twice, I'd rather do it once so that everybody kind of gets it straight up rather than people waiting. So you've got the Facebook group that you should be already a part of. If you're not, just let me know and I will add you to the group. Now, I know what both of you do and, you know, why your business is different. What are your current offerings in terms of what you do? Have you actually done a bit of market research to figure out where you are placed in the market against your competition? Now, I'm not saying you need to increase your prices. I'm not saying you need to bring it down. I'm not saying you need to kind of go, oh, they're doing it, how can I do it better? I just want to know, have you done your research in terms of your offerings and your pitch? And do you know what your competition looks like on social media? Because this is absolutely crucial for you to know, so I can support you on that. So if you were to say to me, for example, oh, yeah, there's this, Kushtil might say, oh, there's this other company not far from me, maybe about 20 km from me, and they do this, this, and this, but we are different because we do this. Okay, what about your price points? What about your packaging? What about your online presence? What about your social media presence? Oh, yeah, I mean, we offer really great stuff, but it depends on if somebody actually inquires, because we are not really active on social media. But the other people are. So really, you're missing out on, because when people type and they're looking for your services, they're probably finding them a lot quicker than they're finding you. So really, then your biggest action step is to get your social media up to scratch, kind of thing. So it's important for each of you to know that in terms of where you're at, what their following is like or what their audience is like. And it's market research. You know, as I said, I know with both businesses that I do, whether it's the publishing side of writing a first book, or whether it is the Facebook, LinkedIn workshops, or the on-site consulting, I know, like in my local area, there's about 2 other people that do social media. And we all have a point of difference. Like one of them would do something a little bit different. The other would be, their approach would be different. You know, one of the things we pride ourselves on is, for depending on what the program is, 24-hour response, or, we have unlimited email support, so there's all these different things that make us different. And we highlight that when that initial conversation takes place. So we don't wait, we highlight that. So let's look at, taking some time to really dig deep, and you kind of look at where are you positioned in the marketplace, and are you aware. So before we cover this slide, your biggest social media marketing challenge, let's go to Tina. So Tina, have you done your research around your marketplace?
Kind of, yeah, kind of. I haven't sat down and actually, I guess, the nuts and bolts, but I do have a general understanding of the marketplace. Okay. I know that there are a lot of other PTs in this area, offering all sorts of stuff, and I know that there is a couple of gyms just up the road, literally, from where I operate. Yep. But their target audiences are much different to mine. Yep. I know on social media aspect, there are a couple that target to women, but one really sells this, in my opinion, the sex side of being fit and healthy. She sells the skinny side. Okay. So you're just all about getting skinny, stuff like that. The other, which I would think would be one of my larger competitors, she's a mum herself and has built a very successful business by running HIIT training. So she's opened up franchises and things like that. So I've sort of watched her go from just starting out on her own to building this big franchise thing that she's now got. Yeah. But again, I don't know. They both boast like big numbers. One of them is more of an online thing. She's got a big online program. It's got a big following. The other one has just, masses of numbers that just come in and get fit and all that sort of stuff. So it's really, I don't know, from my perspective, when I look at them, they look very hyped up. Not quick fixes, but very hyped up, very, this is going to solve your problem, buy into it, whether it does or not, I don't know, sort of thing. So I don't know.
Okay. Is their audience similar to yours?
One is a bit younger.
Okay.
And the other, kind of, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to tell because she has a massive following, and she does all sorts, men, women. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so let's look at her audience in terms of women. When you look at them visually, because you have a visual, the reason I'm closing my eyes, you're probably going, why am I closing my eyes? Just because I'm just a visual person. So what I'm thinking is, and that's why I'm going to keep closing my eyes while I talk.
You do.
So if you are clear of what your ideal client visually looks like, if they were to inquire about your services and how you can take them on a journey. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you were to go, okay, they're about that, they have about 20 kilos to lose, they have gone through X, Y, and Z challenge, or whatever that might be. Visually, you have an image of what this person looks like. Yeah. When you look at their social media pages, or their following, or their engagement, are you seeing this visual person in that audience?
No.
Okay. So then whatever she's saying or whatever they're saying or doing is attracting not that woman that you're trying to target. So that woman is out there then.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. If they're out there and she has not attracted them, then obviously her marketing message and yours is very different.
Yeah.
However, whatever she is doing on social media to feed the others is getting a bit of engagement. So what I would suggest to you is, and this would apply to you as well, Kushdil, and for any of you that are currently watching this and going, what is Samantha on about? Pay attention to when people have a big following and they are posting regularly on Facebook. Pay attention to the times that they're posting and the kind of engagement that is happening. So even if you are on a closed Facebook group, you know, for those of you that might be on a big group that might have 10,000 plus members, look at who is getting the most engagement. Is it a time factor? Is it a visual factor? Or is it specific services or products? You need to kind of take some time, a good probably 3-4 days of market research to look at how people are behaving and engaging on Facebook groups and on other pages in terms of time slots, content, comments, likes and shares. Because
do you mean the 10,000 followers of any kind of like business page?
Yes. So for example, let's say you went on to a business, what's the word? Okay, let's say, just for talk's sake, let's say, Tina, you went on to Michelle Bridges, you know, Facebook page, either Michelle Bridges Facebook or Biggest Loser, let's say, okay? You go in there and you kind of look, okay, so on Monday she posted at 10 o'clock. On Tuesday, she posted at 3 o'clock. On Friday, she posted at 8. You kind of start to go, okay, so Monday, there were quite a lot of likes and shares. Tuesday, people were having a rant about whatever she posted. So what did she say? Okay, she was being a little bit disruptive, or she was being a little, or she might have been inspirational, or whatever it is. There were more people commenting and tagging friends than Monday. On Wednesday, that video actually didn't have a lot of comments, but it has reached like 5,000 people. Okay, so it reached 5,000 people. There were not a lot of comments, either because for whatever reason they didn't comment, or what was the context of it. Whereas when she posted that picture of that woman carrying a tire and trying to push it up and down or whatever it was, people were like, oh my gosh, that's intense, I couldn't do it. And they were engaging a lot more. So you kind of want to take some time, not a lot of time, but for you to have enough information, on your audience and their behavior. So I'm not saying that audience is your audience. I'm just saying as a business, they have a social media presence. And for you to know how they are behaving, you need to look at it. It's like, you know, if you, I know like when I've got 2 kids and one's doing one thing and the other's doing something different, and I want them to both do the same thing because it's just easier for whatever reason, I need to look and go, okay, they're doing that, they're in their core, you know, whatever it is. So I can say to him, you go play with her and just share the game or play together or whatever that might be. You know, kind of you make a decision on where you kind of assess the situation. So you kind of need to do the same when it comes to other businesses' social media, just for market research purposes, where you know what is trending. Because if you don't know, you will never know. You are just going to go by, Samantha said, to be a little bit disruptive. So I'm going to be disruptive.
No.
Whereas it's just hey, buddy.
Sorry.
That's all right. Where you want to be, you know, really thinking about, they are doing that. She's always talking about eating clean and exercise and all that. But not once has she mentioned that by doing an upper body workout, it will do this, this, and this, and these are the benefits. And often this is something that people slack off on because they're so hung up about eating all their greens or whatever that might be. So you need to know, because when you know how people are responding and what is catching their attraction. Her ideal client might not be yours, but her social media following, if it's going off the charts, then you kind of need to know what the hell she's doing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Kushdil, with you, it would be the same thing. For any of you that are on the recording, pay attention to your competition. Pay attention to their approach of social media. I'm not saying that you need to copy that. I'm not saying your approach is, oh, you need to go and do it 10 times better. What I'm saying is you need to be aware of what's in the marketplace. It's like Safeway and Coles has a sale. Where would I get my coffee from? I mean, why would I go to Safeway and pay full price when I can pick it up from Coles? But if I don't know, I don't know. So you want to position that. So Kushnil, with your approach, my suggestion to you would be is looking at the industry, the people dominating the industry from an educational space and a branding thing. Because depending on what products you're using, you probably could tie in with highlighting particular products, not over another, but really highlighting why you chose those products. So for example, let's say you've got product A that you have been using for 5 years and product B seems to be catching the marketplace, you would talk about why product A has been a big part of your transformation because it had this, this, and this. And as much as B sounds good, you're just not sure because there's a difference in possible outcomes or something like that, if that makes sense. So you constantly want to be feeding them information that's relatable, not boring, not too many stats, but feeding them information that is going, oh, okay, yeah, I get it, kind of thing. So you want to position it that way. It's like, I know a lot of people keep saying, oh, when you buy products from the supermarket, look at, the ingredients and those codes. What is it, 472 or 476 or whatever the codes are. Now, I've heard that, yeah. I have honestly heard that so many times. You think when I go into Safeway, I remember, or Coles? No, it's gone out of my head. What I would love is if there was something that I could have gone, this has this, can I click straight away, or can I know something? Or if I watched a video where somebody said, one of the things you need to remember is just stay clear of this, or we often think it's a quick fix, let's have an up and go, but really, did you know the up and go had that? As much as it does this, it also does this. Oh, okay, so it's up and go. Because I don't remember what the code was on what biscuits it was or what chips it was. Do you know what I'm saying? So eliminate that for me by being a little bit disruptive. Going, yeah, of course, up and go is a great way to just get you going because you're hungry or on the road and you're going to have this in the car. Yeah. But did you know that is what it is, as opposed to saying, next time you're shopping, think about 476. Who knows what 476 is? I don't know. You
the product. They know the product. Yeah.
They know the product. So talk about the product. I mean, Pina, you run the educational segments in the shopping centers, on the supermarket stores. So really it should be like, hey guys, when you're buying broccoli, you should really look at buying it the fresh rather than, I don't know, the frozen versus whatever that might be. So eliminating that. So I know next time I go to Coles, when I went on the supermarket team to a scene, I said, always just go to the fresh one and get, even if you get one piece of broccoli, get it that as opposed to the frozen broccoli that's been sitting in the freezer. Because in my head, I'm thinking broccoli is great. No matter how I eat broccoli is great. But no, Tina knows there's a certain way to that. So with you, Kushnil, what is that process? Tell me. If you're a business that's listening and you're in the design space, you are in the state. What is it that I need to know that I can remember at the drop of a hat? If it's too long, I'm out. If it's too technical, I'm out. If it's too complex for my brain, I'm out. So how can you just say this means this? It's like that process. Don't touch the kettle, you're going to burn your hand. Yeah, I get it, because it's don't touch the kettle, you're going to burn your hand kind of approach, as opposed to going in a longer way of saying, okay, well, you've got to make sure that the kettle is on, or if it has been on, then it's going to be hot. Too much. You've got to be careful, you can burn your hand, kettle kind of thing. Okay? All right. So you get the process of how you want to position that. Now, my question to both of you, and for those of you that are listening, is, if you're not on the live call, then I'd love to hear from you through the group. But let's go to Kushnil first. What is your biggest challenge around social media marketing? Like, is it building engagement? Is it offering your services or pitching what it is that you do? Or how to convert? You're having conversations, but you're struggling to convert them into paying clients. Like, where are you at with social media in terms of marketing and, booking clients in and making those sales? What's your biggest challenge?
Conversion.
Okay. So you are having people that are interested, but it's a conversion process?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say conversion, are you saying that they're saying, can you tell us can you give us a little bit more information? I'd love to know more how I can work with you. And then you give them that information and then they say, oh, okay, leave it with me. I'm going to think about it. Is that what's happening?
Generally what happens when I do some posting,
yes.
People like, or sometimes people share the videos or some whatever it is.
Yep.
And other people are also showing that thing. So because of the like and comment and how this ad or something is working, we can highlight, like we can track it from
yep.
the Facebook.
Yeah.
So in that way, I can say, everything is running very well, but I'm not getting any client from there.
Oh, okay. So the engagement is happening, but there is no from the engagement there is no lead generation. So there is there is no opportunity for you to even have a sales conversation.
Yes.
Okay. So let's dive into that a little bit. So you said you have insights on who's viewing it, how the ads are performing, you get all of that.
Yeah.
So when you're running this, are they going to a landing page? Are they going to an offer? What's the call to action like?
I think that's missing.
That's missing?
I think so, because most of the time I put my website.
And when you put your website, are you putting your home page or are you putting a landing page?
No, I think home page.
Okay. So the service that you might be talking about or the product, do you have that specifically somewhere on your website that you could give them a landing page as opposed to the home page?
I'm not sure. It's all technical, maybe.
Okay. When we finish this call, if you could just do me a favor, if you can just post your website and your Facebook page in the group, still. So obviously everyone can interact, but everyone can see what I suggest to you, because what I mean, I have, as I said, I know briefly what your page is like, but I've actually not been on your website, so I don't want to say I know what was happening on there. But one of the biggest things a lot of people face is, if you are just putting a post and then you're putting a website link, it can come across too heavily marketed to unless you're doing a sponsored ad. So my suggestion to you would be is to take the link down completely. Okay, just put information and say, like if for example, if it was a video, then say learn more. And then on the video, on the text on the video, like on the black screen or on the colored screen, you say visit our website, www.businessname.com/ let's say the product. So it might say herbal, whatever. So then if I watch the video and I share it, I'm not feeling like I'm suffocated to do anything, because at the end you've got a branding with the website. Does that make sense? So that might be
like whatever I just write it down, like the sale or not sale, but the information what I am putting in a post.
Yep.
It should be with the landing page kind of thing, like with the product page.
Yes. So if you are doing a post, let's say the post was this phone, for example, if you posted this on your business page, you might say, oh, really excited to have my brand new iPhone. Yeah. Let's just pretend you said that.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to then say under that post, visit the website for more. Just leave it at that. Because the post is there to just connect. Because you're excited of that. It is not designed for you to every single time plug the business page, because then it becomes heavily marketed to, rather than engagement building, relationship building, adding value. But what you could do is on the post, if this was the picture of the iPhone, you would have a branded image that says www.businessname.com.au. So if I was to keep sharing this image, your business name gets passed around. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I just need to create a picture.
Yep.
And in that picture, I should mention my business name. Business website.
Yeah, business name or business website.
Logo or website or anything.
Yeah, something like that is branded. Okay. And if you are doing videos, I would end the video with saying, find out more or learn more, put your website name, not just the homepage, but the product related page. So / Ayurvedic products or whatever it might be.
Yeah. So on video as well, the same thing.
Yeah. So on the video itself, it needs to be branded. So if you go onto my business page, I think it's further down because the last few videos that I've done have been just in the car, my little selfies and whatever.
Yeah.
But if you go further down into my business page, you'll see a series that are called Business Rants. And at the end of those videos, it tells you like and share, and it tells you my 4 social media platforms. So I just want people to like and share. That was all what it was. And by doing that, I had people messaging me going, that topic that you're talking about, I'm really confused. How's that interlinked to what it is that you do? And then I'd open that conversation. So it was like opening a can of worms to kind of go, oh, so that intrigued you. Tell me more. How can I support you? What do you really want? So it was all the videos are done to get people to either know where I'm showing up or to open a conversation. It is not designed to sell straight away. It's just to open a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to put together some information anyway for you and send it to you. So that will happen tomorrow. But I want to take notes so you understand, okay, this is where this is going. Now, in terms of an ideal outcome, what do you want, Kushdil, as an ideal outcome for, let's say, the end of 2017?
The major thing is getting more clients and lead my income at the moment.
Okay. So when you say more clients, how many clients do you want per week?
At least 50. 50.
50 a week or 50 a month?
50 a week.
50 a week. And that could be a combination of yoga plus clients that are seeing for diet. Yeah. So
all together.
Okay, beautiful. And currently, where are you at? Would you like to share that or not?
Sorry?
I said currently, in terms of if you want to have 50 a week, currently what are you doing a week? Like what are you trying to increase?
It depends on sometimes weather, I think I can say.
Yep.
Market also sometimes play a big role.
Okay.
Sometimes 10 a week or sometimes just 2 a week.
Okay. So you want to increase it dramatically. Okay. So from 10 to go to 20 is about you doubling it, yeah? And then 20 to 40. So it is, you are currently where you're at to get into 50 is probably a 3-step process. I just want to, the reason I say that is because you are about to go from cold to warm to super warm to like, I'm trending. Yeah? So I don't want to go to you, it's all going to be happening because I'd be like,
it's not going to be, but I know I am aware of it because I am in this field since 15 years. And I go through a big journey from a big change from India to Australia. And since 6 years, I'm in Australia and Melbourne. I'm working in same field since last 6 years.
Okay.
So I have lots of people, they know me nowadays. Lots of people are inviting me on radio, on TV, on public speaking and everything. So I think it's not a big deal for me to translate that people into as my customer. So I have a big exposure nowadays. So how I can use that exposure to become my client?
Okay, so I'll make sure that the strategy I give you is to leverage the exposure. So when you say exposure and you're talking to this audience, I'm just trying to visualize it. The people that you're speaking to in front, are they your ideal client or they're connected to your ideal client?
I'm connected to.
They are connected. So when you talk in an audience, you don't physically have your ideal client listening to you in the room.
No.
Okay. So
maybe may not be. Yeah. Maybe may not be.
Okay. The reason I'm taking notes is because if they're in the room, your approach would be one thing. If they're not in the room, it's a different approach, because you're reliant then on this middle person to do the communicating and do the referral to go. So you kind of need to then really have an awesome, attractive offer, or some sort of really good conversation where you are really positioning yourself as the expert with the person that is making the decision whether they are going to connect you to the other person or not. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'll put that in there so that I can give you some strategies around that. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. So in that case, so you're clear. You want 50 clients per week. That's your ideal outcome. We are going to now swap to Tina to look at, Tina, where are you placed with in terms of your biggest challenge around social media marketing? And then what is your ideal outcome for 2017?
I think she's with kids.
Oh, okay. She's probably, okay. That's all right. We'll come back to Tina later. All right. There's Tina.
She's here.
Sorry, I had changed Maddie's napping. She fell asleep on me. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
So my biggest challenge in social media marketing is I'm not consistent with it at the moment. So I definitely...
Oh, sorry, Tina, we lost you. I can't hear you. There we go.
Now. Okay. So I'm not very consistent with my social media marketing, so I need to do that. I know that I get better engagement, I guess, with video as opposed to stagnant, like post pictures and things like that, though in saying that, depending on what the picture's about. So I know videos is definitely where I need to, I guess, do more regularly. But also getting, I guess, leads out of any of the, like I've done ads and things like that on Facebook before and have got nothing out of it, nothing. Like it reaches a whole bunch of people, but I get nothing, no interaction, no engagement, no clicks through to a landing page, or if the call to action is just to message me or respond to an email or something like that, nothing. So I don't know.
All right.
So in saying that, though, my last, I guess, marketing ad thing that I did on Facebook did actually get engagement. It got me leads and it resulted in, 3 new clients or something. So I guess that worked. But that wasn't a paid ad. That was just me posting something. I ran the $7 for 7 days promo.
Yep.
And I just posted it in a picture and just shared it through my Facebook, and that's where I generated the leads from and the interest that way.
Okay, so the $7 for 7 days worked.
Yeah, it did.
Are you thinking that that could be a bit of a funnel thing that you could be doing every now and again?
Yes, I did. I am actually, yeah. So I'm going to run it probably every couple of months, the $7 for 7 days, and interchange it with something different in the alternate months. So do a different promo for June, whether it's promoting, because I've changed my pricing structure recently, because my aim for doing these promos is to get more leads and to get more clients in the shed. So I want to build up my client base that way. And I guess in that sense, it worked. I just obviously like a little bit more next time, but the leads that I got out of it, they're all warm leads. So, I've spoken to them, I've interacted with them several times. There's interest and they've just got stuff they've got to deal with or work through before they come. So they've all, I know, going to come eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time of nurturing them to get them in the shed, basically.
Okay, beautiful. Well, I'll put together some strategies in your email. So both of you will receive an email tomorrow. And then we're live again next Wednesday at 12:30. So, So ideally, what is in the email, I would like you to start planning that and structuring that, so we can address that on the live call, because the way I want to do it is for you to bring your challenges and for me to give you a solution, but hold you accountable and support you. That is the whole purpose of this. It's not about me just saying everybody record a video and post it on Facebook. That's not what it is, because every single one of you that have registered, whether you're live on the call or not, what your business offers is different. So I'm not going to give you a stock standard approach. That being said, Tina, what is your ideal outcome for December 2017?
my ideal outcome is to have 60 consistent active clients. So active as in they show up every week. I've currently got 20 that show up every week. I want to hit my income, which my income goal, which is probably, what am I doing? 4 times what I'm currently doing. But I think if I get the 60, it will actually equate to achieving my income goal.
Okay.
And yeah.
So you want to go from 20 to 60, and that's a 2-step process, because essentially you kind of go, you probably you want to hit 20 to go to 30 and then just double that, because it's getting from 20 to 30 is going to be not the challenge, the big target, and then you just need to double that, whatever it is that you're doing. Because so you're at a 2-step process. So these 20 people that are currently coming, how have they found you?
Word of mouth.
Okay. And when you say word of mouth, is it actually word of mouth, or people tagging people on Facebook word of mouth?
No, it's because they've come through someone who's already here or who has experience being here, and then they come.
Okay. So then your social media needs to get a really good workout in terms of your positioning of content, so that it is not just feeding information, but strategically planning content.
Yes, I'd really like to actually start getting clients that are what I call cold clients. So they don't know me.
Yep.
Or, are curious because of something they've seen, like on my social media or something like that. I guess they know me through social media in that they've been watching me, but haven't actually had someone go, oh, she's awesome, or she's amazing, go see her. But they're like, oh, I like what you're preaching. I need some of that sort of thing. So I'd really like to start getting some of those and not relying so heavily on that word of mouth.
Yeah.
Whilst that's good, but I want it to come from elsewhere as well.
Yeah. Any coming from networking? Because I know you network.
I do. Anyone coming from networking? No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, cool. Kushtil, you are an active network. Do you actively network in Melbourne, or?
I used to for maybe 6 months ago.
Okay.
But not now.
Is there a reason why you're not networking, or?
I'm not sure, but I don't feel comfortable to networking.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. You don't just like the whole setup of going there pitching and then that whole atmosphere. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I just like to get a gauge of where you're at. So because I don't want to challenge you to the point that you're not going to do it, because then what's going to happen is you're going to be like, oh, nothing really happened.
Like it's not like that. But first of all, I'm not driving, so most of the meetings and stuff is like quite far away from the public transport. So it takes me a lot of time and efforts to reach there. And after reaching there, I connect with lots of people, but still like it's kind of just sharing the ideas and just be with the different kind of people. That's it, nothing else.
Okay, so then it's not worth your time and effort. Yeah, okay. No, that's all right. I just like to take notes so that then I'll give you something that you can do on social media, as opposed to, getting out there and networking. Whereas with Tina, I could do something around networking. Okay, beautiful. All right. All right. So let's look at your accountability and support as we wrap up. So what I want you to remember is you have 14 days of unlimited support, and that is through the group, which you both are currently in the group. For those of you that are listening to the recording, and if you're not on the group, please click on the group. That's the link. Click on the group link, or just let me know and I'll add you to the group. Now you are going to gain 2 emails that has templates and strategies to follow. If you are stuck and you're not quite getting what Samantha is saying, it's absolutely crucial for you to respond to that email to me and say, hey, I don't know what you're on about. Can you debrief it, or can you go through it, or something like that? Because we are live on the call next Wednesday at 12:30. So again, lunchtime. And on that call, what you got and what you received in your email with templates and strategies is what we're going to discuss. So I'm not going to be pulling any magic out of the hat. I'm going to be talking about what is it that you did, what are you planning, and giving you pointers. So this is interactive. It is a call that is interactive. So I'm not going to prepare like you do this, because I want to see how it's trending for you. So it's absolutely crucial that you open the email tomorrow and look at it. It's probably going to take you maybe about 40 minutes to 45 minutes to execute what is in there. So it's not a big chunk of time, but I suggest that you try and allocate that 45 minutes to doing what needs to get done. So when we are on the live call next week, you have completed some stuff and you have some questions, and then the content, because I'm going to bring some content to the table, but obviously it's just an extension of what I want you guys to be doing, so you get some results and you have a better social media engagement strategy by being a little bit disruptive.
Sure.
Okay. All right, ladies, I'm going to wrap this up. For those of you that are going to watch this as a recording, if you've got any questions, please let me know. I will be assessing those of you that are not on the call, your business page on Facebook or group on Facebook, and then I will direct your email by what I see. However, if you're listening to this, it is absolutely crucial that you sort of just touch base with me through the Facebook group if I have missed anything, because I don't obviously have all the information given that we're not on the call. So that being said, those of you that are live, thank you so much for being on the call, and I will see you all next Wednesday at 12:30.
Thanks, Samantha. That's really good.
That's all right. All good. I'll see you later. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
And
Bye.
I have sent you that my website and page on our group. Yeah,
okay. Beautiful. I'll have a look at it in about 10 minutes.
Okay, no worries.
Great. Bye, ladies. See ya.
Bye. See you. Thank you.